Hey everybody, quick video where we're going over Can You Catch Up free to play. This is going to be a breakdown of playing about 4 hours each day. This is a fresh leveled character that I have here. I've deleted my other ones, and we are going to be starting at 1486. First thing, start off with your consumables. Huge. A lot of people don't start off with the consumables, so here's the 3 that you want to make sure that you're picking up every day and that you have available. You can pick those up at anytime, but some of them are daily. So then you want to go over to your guild. Go ahead and update your weapons. Make sure you got 2 blue weapons. If you want to, and you have enough currency from grinding when you're leveling up, you can buy multiple of the same and start unlocking traits on your weapons. Like if you buy a bow, if you buy a staff, etc., you can go ahead and unlock all 3 traits on it super easily that way as well. Then what you want to do is just level up anything lower that you have. Typically, you'd put a couple levels into the blue bow. Here, I'm not going to be the most efficient with leveling up. I'm just going ahead and getting it set up for everybody or for myself, so I'm ready to rock and roll and go. So here we go, 3. Maybe throw a couple more levels in there, and I'll be good to go. Definitely have the currency to be able to do so. Next, you want to go ahead and grab your lithograph upgrades. Right out of the gate, stuff that's really important, like the Deadeye's cloak is huge, right? Because you're going to pick some of these up down the road whenever you're grinding as well. And so you can easily trait that out. And it's also a really good cloak. You'll see even some builds on Questlog are still using this cloak, right? It just has really good stats for you. So really great one to get going right out of the gates. So all you got to do is craft up these few here. And if you need the lithographs, you can easily get those from doing your contracts, your daily contracts. We'll go over that here in just a bit. Now next, I usually save Titles Tower or Titles Tower for the very end, because as you can see, you can just jump in here and nuke everything down super fast and then get the currency, right? That's really what you're after. You don't really want to worry about this as like a leveling tool at all. It's really just for getting currency. So jump in here, fly through it, and get all your currency going as quick as possible. That's going to help you with upgrading your gear. And by then, I decided to go ahead and call it the end of day 1. Now, starting in day 2, all I'm going to focus on, as you can see, I've been doing it for a while, is just co-op dungeon grinding. It usually should take you only about an hour to get through a full 4,500, maybe an hour and a half, depending on what the queues are like on your server. And you're just going to burn all of that so that you're getting your Abyssal contract tokens. Those are really what we're after. So now if you do get lucky, you want to go ahead and try to craft some token gear. Now, when you're in co-op dungeons, I don't want you to think about it as I'm trying to grind to get a specific piece of gear from a dungeon. Just get rid of that thought altogether. What you're really after is just picking up gear, period, and picking up tokens, right? If you go in with a group, that's good. Maybe that's the way you want to do it. You can grind for a specific piece of gear. But in my opinion, it is overall better to do the random group, because then you're guaranteeing yourself some gear down the road. And also you have a possibility of getting your salvation tokens. Now, if you are lucky enough to get your salvation tokens, you're able to go ahead and we'll see. We'll open these up here. There we go. I got another salvation token. And so that right there is an automatic weapon for me right away. So huge. Now, there are some pieces of gear that you will want down the road, but for getting started, we're really just going to focus on leveling up our weapon mastery, getting some traits going, and then also seeing if we can get some better weapons, because these weapons will be a little bit more difficult to level up in the long run as far as traits, etc. Typically, if you're not coming across multiples of them, or you're not, which is going to be pretty rare to do, you're either going to be leveling up through trait stones or through Lucent. And we'll go over Lucent in a minute. So next is the contract grind. Huge part of your overall build. And this is where we're going to finish up getting the rest of our Abyssal contract tokens. Really only focus on things that help you make pages, right? Or books, skill books. This is going to be one of the most difficult pieces that you're going to come across, or trying to come across, is keeping your skills leveled up. Contract tokens, or not contract tokens, but your daily contracts, focus on that the most, right? You can see here, going through and doing my contracts, I was able to pick up another Deadeye cloak, and that helped me just boost up the max mana that I had on that cloak. But if I got lucky, I would have been able to find one that would have had an additional trait, and I could have unlocked that trait. And here I'm just kind of going through seeing what pieces that I maybe have an additional for that I might be able to unlock a new trade on. It looks like I don't have anything that's ready to go right now, so I'll go ahead and I'll move on. Next is going to be our dungeon grind. This is really where you're going to get all the gear that you're really after, right? This is where we level up. This is where we build our traits up. I'll go over exactly where I go here in a bit, so you can see exactly what my grind looks like. I typically spend most of my time with Silas Abyss 6th floor, not really chasing any specific piece of gear. My farm is really broken down into just a couple different things, right? In this case, you can see I went ahead and switched over to wand. So now I'm wand staff. I did get lucky and pick up a better staff. So I'm working on building that staff up right now. And so now I'm just able to trade. This is off just a quick run, right? Not really a full run. One of the great things is now our Abyssal Contract tokens are no longer capped out at 20K. They're going to be now 40K. So we can have even more of an opportunity to grind there. And that's what we're really after to do, right? Is dungeon grinding, as far as like co-op dungeons, getting those pieces of gear, that's difficult. You get it kind of in your mindset that what you want to do is go into a dungeon and grind that one piece of gear. But in reality, this is where you want to be grinding, right? Two of your biggest in-game pieces or currencies to use is going to be the Abyssal Contract token. This is going to give you an opportunity to either do the material transmutation, or it's going to give you an opportunity to earn Lucent. Now, I will do something that's a little bit more in detail on Lucent farming and how to get a hold of Lucent, but really, the goal is just that. Should we be making Lucent out of it, or should we turn it into material transmutation? And in this case, I'll show you a couple things that I've decided to go ahead and pull in here. These are some leftovers. Actually, I probably need that, but to just show the example here. I'm also not doing this correctly. You should put all your blue pieces in first every time. I think I even make a note of that here. But what we're down there doing when we're farming is we're trying to build this up so then we can roll for tier 3. It looks like I didn't have enough to specifically target where I normally do, which is going to be into the jewelry because it sells for the most, and it's also some of the best to upgrade. So look there, I actually lucked out and got myself a grace ring. So there, you'd make the note, make sure to add blue gear in first, so then you can get a bonus, additional bonus over the amount, right? So you want to have like tier 3 plus up to like 900 bonus, I think it is. And that's going to give you the best opportunity to get stuff like, really high-end rare rings. So now, when we're down doing our grinding, you really want to figure out, do you want to get a team or AOE build? I do AOE just because I don't have enough time to really sync up and meet other people. So I am a little bit more focused on really just getting down here and grinding because this is on a different server. I wanted to also show the validity of it without having to have a full group grinding up for you, right? Now, when we're down here, when we're thinking Lucent, we're thinking of a couple things: health, hit, crit, and heavy. Depending on your server, these are going to be the most valuable whenever you're trying to sell on the auction house traits for Lucent. So next video, I really want to focus on what Lucent trading looks like, how to do it quickly, and how to earn Lucent there, because it's going to be important for picking up little traits, things in the future to have some Lucent to be able to spin and use, right? So we'll go over that here soon. Our results so far, 2,520. Not bad for 2 days of grinding. 8 hours total. I really capping it at 4 hours. Next video, I'll be going over the next couple of days, maybe even extending it out to a week. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you're curious about or any questions that you have, and I'll definitely make sure to go over it. But until then, get back to grinding. See y'all then.